Good morning and maybe good day already. I am very pleased to be here and to represent Ukraine and my company, which holds lots of really very big marketplaces in Ukraine. Before, I heard in the speech of the speaker a very nice word, and she said, brave to trade. And I'm sure that you know that be brave, it's the phrase that was very familiar to lots of people worldwide, because Ukraine started telling about what we are doing right now all over the world, and bravery, I think it's part of Ukrainian identity right now. So. And besides, yesterday I came to Vilnius. It's really very nice and warm city. And for me it was so warm to see that inside the hotel there was a flag of Ukraine. It's one thing. And the second thing, that the hotel staff greeted me in Ukrainian, so it was unexpectedly. So thank all of you who supported Ukrainians, and I'm sure about it. So what about our company and what kind of marketplaces we have? So I will start from the biggest ones. It's Prom.ua and Rozetka.ua as well. So Prom.ua, it's a marketplace where you can buy both B2C and B2B products, and we have more than 70,000 of sellers, so it's quite a big platform. Besides, we have Satu, it's the same as Prom.ua but in Kazakhstan. Besides, we have Shafa, it's about more clothes, women's clothes, children clothes and cosmetics, so it's about female a little bit. We have Bigl.ua, it's just about B2C, and we have a number of very nice quality sellers, so it's a main difference between Bigl.ua and Prom. Easy, it's C2C. And Kabanchik, it's about services, so you can order whatever, cleaning, babysitting, or to make some orders. And made with Bravery, but I will tell about it a little bit later, because I'm the leader exactly of this project, and I will tell what we are doing right now. So first I would like to tell you about some figures, what's going on right now in Ukraine. And you see that the number of internet users decreased dramatically. It's -26 in comparison to the previous year. And I'm sure that you know the reason, but I will tell about it one more time. First, of course, it's a great migration of people, and it's obvious that people were looking for more safe countries, and because in the eastern and southern part of Ukraine it's very difficult to live even right now. And the second reason, that still lots of territories are occupied, and we hope that one day we will see all these friends and relatives from these territories as well, and we will reunite. And on our about estimation, about 1,800 cities, towns, and villages are still occupied. So you can imagine how many people live there. Okay, regarding internet users, of course, it's minus to the previous years, and right now it's about almost 9 million people. And the reasons why it decreased, you can understand why it happened, so there is no sense to tell it one more time. Regarding average order price, I need to mention that the increase, in fact, it's not so nice. I mean, the reason why it happened, because first of all, it's due to great inflation in Ukraine, and it's obvious why it's like this. And the second very important reason is that last year, and this year as well, lots of people started buying military equipment to support our relatives, our friends, and even absolutely unfamiliar people. Second, I'm sure that you know about blackouts in Ukraine. And all these generators, power banks, and touristic equipment influenced the average order price as well because it's quite expensive. Regarding total e-commerce, it's about almost 4 billion euro. I tried to calculate it in euro just for you to understand what is the number and how huge is it. It's plus to the previous year as well, and the main reason, of course, average price, because it increased, and the second reason is that customers that right now are in Ukraine started buying much more often than they used to do it before, just because brick and mortar shops and offline was injured dramatically. That's why lots of people just moved to online channels. Share of e-commerce in total retail is 11%. It's plus as well to the previous year. And what is just to understand that in each 100 hryvnias that our customers spend to buy something, 11 hryvnias are spent in e-commerce. And is it few or not? It's just to compare. I prepared the second slide, and it's about share of e-commerce in worldwide. This data you can find in Statista, and what is very interesting that Ukraine right now is close to Canada, to Sweden, to Finland. Of course, we are very far from China or Great Britain, but we are moving there. Right now, before I was listening attentively the previous speaker, and it was a very nice and deep overview about marketplaces. That's why I decided to focus especially on Ukrainian insights and what we observe, because I'm not sure that it is interesting just to repeat what you know as well. So, love trademarks became stronger. Of course, it's very logical, because when you live in very uncertain times and during the high volatility, of course, people prefer to buy somewhere where they know this shop, where they know this platform. And of course, it's about some feelings that if I do something with somebody who I know and who I trust, then I can just feel safety. Right now in Ukraine we have the phrase, oh yes, it was before 24th of February. And I think that love trademarks support people to return to that times, before the Great War started. And of course, brand development is very important as well, because what we observe right now in Ukraine, that competition between companies become stronger and stronger, and of course customers choose the brands where their principles, where their values coincide. So, and on the right side of the slide, you may see the biggest, in fact, retailers. Rosetka and Prom, they are online marketplaces, and Conf is the biggest retailer for electronics in Ukraine, just for you to know what these names mean. What is very interesting, and of course we've seen it during blackouts, that price is no more so crucial for high demand products. It's, when we are sitting here, it's very difficult to imagine how you can live when you just have 2 or 3 or 4 hours of electricity. But before we even discussed that when our marketplaces did not work for 5 or 10 minutes, we had hundreds of complaints and lots of people were complaining, oh, you cannot work in a stable way. But right now we know how to do everything, how to recharge your laptops, how to recharge your phones, how to clean your house, how to cook your dish just for several hours. And of course, that's why all these products are so urgent and make a big influence on what's going on in the e-commerce. Local Ukrainian companies are the first priority. What we observe right now that AliExpress is not developing with the same speed as Ukrainian brands. And of course, it's you can understand why it's going like that, because Ukrainians would like to support Ukrainian companies and would like to leave their money in the Ukrainian economy. Regarding right now, we observe very interesting trend that lots of companies need to reshape their business models. If they were just in physical world, of course, they need to start to become online, because lots of customers first they left Ukraine. Second part of customers that just moved from one region to another. So online is a must right now, but we see lots of different physical offline formats that are very interesting. I mean, markets or pop-up stores that you can observe in lots of big cities of Ukraine. And why brands are doing like this? Why they mix online and new online formats? Because it's the way right now, you know, the speed of our development is great, because we know that today may not come. That's why you need to do everything today. And we test new products, we test the reaction of our customers, and it's much easier and much more cheaper to do offline on this kind of markets or pop-up stores. Of course, Google is in Ukraine is very has a very great power, and what we observe that mainly customers start searching products in Google, but not on some platforms or on some specific sites. That's why the price for any customer is growing and growing. And of course, you remember that number of customers became much lower than it was before. That's why we mainly focus on app. Of course, application, it's a worldwide trend. It's nothing new for you, I'm sure about it. So yes, we make a very big focus, especially on application, because first of all, you may have lots of data for customer behavior over there, and of course it's much easier to engage, and the retention of these customers is much higher. Delivery price is growing. I know that in Europe you have lots of postal and logistics companies, so the customer can choose what kind of logistics they would prefer. So there is a big competition between logistics. And what we observe in Ukraine we have just two big companies. One is private, one is public, and the state owns it. So in fact there is no competition, and of course private one is increasing its prices, and of course it influences the development of e-commerce. That's why big brands are trying to develop their own logistics network and to It's a nice, in fact, marketing to acquire new customers, and of course, it's very nice for delivery quality, because when you control last mile, you're sure about the quality, and you know much more about your customers. In fact, it's our internal graphic, and it's about figures, and it's about last year. So here you may see almost full stop when the war started, and I'm sure that in Ukrainian e-commerce you may observe the same graphic as well. Then people started buying military and children and pet things, of course, because it's a must. And after it, in autumn time, we observed blackouts, so it influenced a lot. But what is very important, despite the war, despite all the missiles, you can see that Christmas time is very important for Ukrainians. So we understand that we need our habits returned to the previous year. And right now the graphics is growing, and I think that this year will be quite good in figures. Social responsibility is a new black. I'm sure that you may observe it only in Ukraine, and right now it's very important for customers, and they prefer to buy at those companies who support our state in a different way. In some companies, CEOs or C-level are joining Ukrainian army, and the company is telling about you. Lots of companies making donations. Lots of companies collecting donations. I just showed you that it's just standard banners, and you may see them all the time. It's not just, I don't know, 1 week or 1 day. No, all the time you will see all the information what companies are doing for Ukrainian victory. And a couple of words about Made with Bravery. Last year, the owners of the company decided to support Ukrainian sellers, because in March we did not understand what's going on, and if we have our country or not, and if we have e-commerce or not. That's why we decided to make a social project and to make a platform to support Ukrainian sellers to start selling worldwide. Besides, we decided that all profit will be transferred to United 24. I'm sure that you know this initiative of Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky. So this platform is collecting donations for different spheres and directions, and we decided that we would like to rebuild living houses, schools, whatever, because we think that it's very important. Our key partners are Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Visa, and lots of other governmental institutions. Right now we have 700 manufacturers, and what is very important, we cooperate only with Ukrainian manufacturers. We deliver orders to 50 countries, so worldwide, and main countries are the US, Canada, Germany, and Great Britain. And already more than 50,000 euro were transferred to rebuild schools and houses. How we promote? Yes, of course, we collaborate with different volunteer projects because we are a social project. We are making offline markets. We cooperate with European Commission. In fact, European Commission impacts a lot on different Ukrainian initiatives, and they support us in a very different way with consultancy, with new ideas. So it's very strong collaboration. And I think, yes, it's a last slide. It's just this weekend we spent offline market just to collect money to equip a library. In Balaklia Lyceum, in fact, it's the eastern part of Ukraine, and right now lots of bombing and missiles are over there, but despite this fact, children are our future, and so I'm sure that we need to support them. So, thank you. I hope that you found something new about Ukraine and how we live there.
Thank you so much. Applause to you for your bravery and everything you do.
Thank you.
I have one question from the audience. Can foreign traders currently trade on the UA marketplaces?
Can foreigners?
Can foreigners trade on Ukrainian market?
No. They can just buy, because the main goal is to support Ukrainian manufacturers. That's why.
Okay, and given not only like made with Bravery but other marketplaces, they can do that?
No, only Ukraine.
Okay, good. Question is about the change of the behavior of your customers when the war
Started.
came, and we saw the changes in the assortment, of course, those generators and everything. But from the customer behavior standpoint, what changes in their behavior you saw? We noticed that there were like a decrease in the customers, but the increase in their baskets, etc. What else can you notice?
First, they start purchasing more often, just because they refuse offline shopping. But in general, what we see right now, they buy just standard things that they used to buy before. And maybe what is the main difference, that brands, I mean worldwide brands, are not so popular right now in Ukraine, that's why. But it's very logical, I would say. So, one more thing that is very important, I think that much more people right now have pets. That's why, yes, they started buying much more pet food. And
okay, and then one of the like sensitive topics, before the war, well, the intertrade, especially on e-com scene with the Russian producers, was quite intense, I believe, to say that. How did it change, and how people like are there any still left Russian players in Ukraine e-com arena?
you need to know that when, in fact, the war started in 2014, and there it was several very big e-com players were banned. That's why we don't have Yandex almost since 10 years. Yes, and Yandex is a huge, enormous competitor. Yes, that's why we don't have Russian players, I mean e-com players, since that time.
Okay.